Hi, welcome to episode 4 of Empowered Menopause. I'm Dr. Gabrielle Francis, and in this video, we're going to discuss the natural solutions that you can have to help support your menopause and perimenopause transition. We're going to go deep into the hormone balancing foods, lifestyle habits, and even some supplements that can be supportive for you. I'm going to give you a naturopathic toolkit that I use that can really help ease your transition and make everything so much more comfortable. Don't worry, nature has your back, and we're going to get into it right now. Eating a whole foods diet is one of the most important things you can do for yourself any time of your life, but especially as you move into your 40s and 50s and are navigating the perimenopause and menopause spectrum. This is a very important time to be eating mostly organic, because if it's organic, you won't have to be worrying about what I call the 3 Ps, or the hormone disruptors: pesticides, plastics, and petroleum. Pesticides are coming from all the non-organic meat, dairy, fruits, and vegetables. Plastics are coming from packaging and from drinking things out of plastic water bottles and containers. And the petroleum is coming from a lot of the products we're using in our beauty and our skincare. And these hormone disruptors have 1,000 times the activity of regular estrogen, and they really disrupt our hormone balance quite a bit, as well as predispose us to fibroid cysts, endometriosis, and breast cancer. So they must be eliminated. The other important thing about a whole foods diet is we should have lots of natural fruits and vegetables, lots of clean proteins, organic meat, chicken, wild fish that doesn't have mercury, whole grains and legumes, but I always recommend gluten-free because gluten can be very inflammatory and cause a lot of weight gain, and many people do not tolerate gluten well. Regarding dairy, it must be organic or have dairy from either goat or sheep. So drinking lots of purified, filtered water is very, very important, and that's very, very important for the health of your skin. And getting really good fats in your diet. That makes a big difference in your hormone health because fats help to produce hormones, but it's really, really important for the beauty of your skin and your hair. So the omega-3s come from flax, chia, and hemp. And the omega-9s we can get from olive oil, the MCT oil, which is coming mostly from coconut. And most people are getting plenty of omega-6s, so they don't really need to be supplemented. But eating a whole foods diet, trying to avoid packaged food as much as possible, eating regular meals, so balanced meals where you're having protein throughout the day will keep your blood sugar stable. So more of a high protein, lots of vegetables, whole grains, and complex carbs, and trying to avoid simple sugars and things like that. Regarding caffeine, a little bit of caffeine isn't so bad. It can actually be very good for your brain health, especially we know that coffee and black tea have a lot of antioxidants in them, but watch what you're mixing them with. Regarding alcohol, you want to keep it to a minimum. Organic wines and clear white alcohols are better, but alcohol can really cause a lot of weight gain and disruption during perimenopause and menopause, so take it easy there. So as I said, eating whole foods, drinking copious amounts of water, and trying to follow this 90% of the time, and 10% of the time you have for cheating and celebrating, you won't feel so guilty, and you can manage it long term. A balanced lifestyle is so important during perimenopause and menopause, and that helps to keep our adrenal in balance and keep our hormones in balance. And sometimes this can be very difficult in modern life, but it's very important to make sure that you walk every day and get a little bit of light aerobics. As far as other exercises, maybe some yoga or stretching, and then something to help with the bone density, some strength exercises or high impact type things that help to stimulate bone growth. It's also important to have time every day just for yourself because you are now becoming a queen and you need time for yourself. This isn't the time to just give, give, give and get nothing back. You need to set time like an hour a day just for yourself, whether it's to read, meditate, take a bath, go for a walk. Getting out in nature is important, and just walking in nature, being in nature, breathing in fresh oxygen and nutrients coming from the plants and cleaning out your lungs, getting rid of the carbon dioxide, that's very important. And having time for yourself to celebrate with friends and family, I think that's a very important part of our lifestyle. It's also important to not be constantly plugged in, to just spend a little bit of time every day, even if it's just 1 hour, where you're not on your phone, you're not scrolling through social media, you're not on your computer, and you're just taking a break from it all. Sleep is so important. Most of us don't give ourselves enough time to sleep. And sleep is one of the most important things because it helps our brain to detoxify, our liver to detoxify, and to shut the engine of the car off so that we can regenerate, okay? And we recommend anywhere between 7 and 9 for basic sleep and anywhere between 10 and 12 for recovery sleep. So as you can see, most people are not sleeping enough. This is one of the most important things that you can do in your lifestyle. And finally, really nurturing your relationships with your family and your friends and yourself, because you're changing and your relationship with people is going to be changing too. And we'll talk more about that later. So here's some lifestyle things that can help to keep you balanced while you're on this perimenopause to menopause journey. There's many supplements that people like to take when they're on this perimenopause to menopause journey. And a lot of people are just reading something online, or they're, watching a commercial on TV and they just go and buy supplements. Typically, I recommend a good food-based multivitamin, a very good omega-3, either flax or fish oil, depending on if you want vegetarian or fish-based. Those are just the basics. Regarding other things like B vitamins and vitamin D and other types of supplements, I usually do that based on testing. So if I find that people are depleted in their labs, I'll give them supplements to help to build and balance where they're depleted if they're not getting it from their diet. There's many kind of herbs that people like to take during the perimenopause to menopause journey. And let me tell you that these are not one size fits all, okay? There are herbs that help to balance estrogen. So if the estrogen levels are low, some of the good herbs might be maca, dandelion, red clover, burdock, dong quai, black cohosh, flax, and soy-based products. These are things that have a phytoestrogenic quality. They're good for people who are lower in estrogen. Then there's herbs that actually help to balance progesterone. And some of these things are blue cohosh, vitex, Mexican wild yam, and a host of other types of things that help to balance progesterones. So when I'm recommending these herbs, it's usually based on the fact that their labs have told me that they needed them. I don't just recommend everybody take everything. And sometimes when people try that, they might find that, oh, I heard this supplement was good for hot flashes, or this was good for this, but it didn't really work for them. Part of that is because it's not the right supplement for them and what they need. Regarding the adrenal balancing, for the adrenal balancing, I use something called targeted amino acid therapy. And once I find out what adrenal hormones are depleted, I give them the proper supplements to help build and balance the neurotransmitters and hormones that they're depleted in. In general, with a lot of supplements, there's the things you can take every day, the multivitamin, the omega-3. But then there's things that are much more time for building and replenishing, filling up the gas tank, charging the battery, and those are based on testing. And then there's your maintenance type supplements. In order to know how to navigate this time with the proper supplements, I recommend that you work with a naturopathic doctor, a functional medicine practitioner, or an integrative medical doctor, somebody who understands functional medicine, because this is a very important time to be getting the very specific treatment that's specific for you. Thank you so much for joining me on your journey through empowered menopause. I hope you're feeling much more informed, supported, and inspired to embrace this transition with confidence and clarity. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can continue to get all the videos in this series, where we will continue to explore powerful and meaningful ways to empower you on the midlife transition and beyond. Your transformation is just beginning, and I'm honored to walk this path with you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.